Okay, so far we've got chords. I've got this little rhythmic guitar part that I added in, and we also have the melody which drops at bar 17. What we haven't yet added is a drum part. So I believe the original Robert Miles drum machine may have been a 909 or something similar. So I'm going to drag a 909 kit onto a new MIDI track, and we're going to have the drums drop the beat fully at 17 here. So I'm going to make initially just a 1 bar selection and insert a MIDI track there, MIDI clip. Okay, now I do not need it to be that sort of precise in placing like semiquavers or anything like that. So I'm going to go 8th notes. And now I'm going to place my kick drum just on the beats every second 8th note. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We don't need a kick drum on the ands. But what we do need on the ands is an open hi-hat. So while we're doing this, I'm just going to stretch out so that loops lots of times, and we're going to put open hi-hats on the off beats. Now, to me, that open hi-hat sounds a little loud, so I'm going to highlight all the open hi-hats and adjust their velocity down here. Okay, so that's how we do that. So the velocity level means the volume level of those individual hits, or how hard the MIDI is triggered. So that's what this is down the bottom here. Let's add some snare drums. Now, you know, in a backbeat, what beats of the bar we need those snares or claps or some kind of, pop to our sound. If we talk about the thump, pop, and sizzle, so far we've got thump and sizzle, we've got no pop. Now that could actually be a good way of bringing your drum beat in, but let's just bring it all in for now. So on beat 2, hopefully you playing at home might have said beats 2 and 4 is where we need the pop. Now, why did I add 2 snares? It's because I was listening before, and that snare's pretty cool. That's pretty snappy. Maybe I'll go with that one. But you can actually make the choice to do 2. You could layer a clap there. You can actually make these choices yourself. For now, let's keep it simple. Now, generally when you're a drummer, you might also have a close hi-hat on the beats. So that open, closed, open, closed. But I don't want too much of that that closed hi-hat coming through. I'm just going to hit play and just balance that. Just so you can faintly hear the hi-hat being played there. So I'm pretty happy with that beat. But I'm going to use an effect just to make it a bit more, a bit fatter, you might say. So what I'm going to do here is double click on here, and you'll see we've got our core kit. What I'm going to do after it is throw some kind of distortion audio effect here. So let's look for distort, and then in the overdrive section, I'm going to get this simple distort preset, and I'm going to drag it just after the drum machine. And then what I'm going to do is do some tweaking. Let's actually solo our drums, and let's just sort of set a loop to that area by going loop selection there. Okay, now here it is with no distortion. There it is with lots of distortion. What we want to do is actually find a subtle level of distortion where it's actually effective rather than sounding pretty horrendous like that. So I'm going to hit play. This dry and wet mix means it's mixing between the original dry signal and the fully affected signal. Here it is. And there it is. But another thing we can change is how much drive is being added. So I'm going to put it back to 100% there, and I'm just going to adjust this drive percent down to about 50%. And then I'm going to just bring the dry and wet down and find the level that I like. It's boosting the volume and sort of the fatness of the sound, and it's not sounding horrendous like that 100% wet did. You can also tweak the tone a little bit if you like, and then have a listen to it in context. And then you can also adjust your balance if you like. So that is putting the drum beat there at the drop. And that's it for this video.